One, for either of you, on the regional processing centers, do you have a target, an estimate of how many people will be able to, the capacity for these, like per week or per month? And whether you do or not, if you think that they will be so successful and are truly new and innovative, why hasn't this been done before?
This is a process that will scale up over time. We are going to begin in collaboration, of course, with the State Department and our partner countries to begin in several thousand each month, 5,000-6,000 plus each month individuals processed, a material impact on the decision making of people who are seeking relief in a country. The whole model is to reach the people where they are, to cut the smugglers out, and to have them avoid the perilous journey that too many do not make. But we are beginning in Guatemala and Colombia. We are beginning at the level that I described, and we will scale up. We are incredibly proud of the fact that we negotiated this agreement with those foreign countries, and we hope to expand beyond there.
Thanks, Ani. And Matt, just to add one point on that, I think that as this effort moves forward and we establish it, my expectation would be that even beyond the numbers of people who might be processed in a given month, other people seeing that this is now a way to access legal pathways to the United States that doesn't require them to, again, take the hazardous journey to our border and to put themselves in the hands of smugglers and then to come only to be turned away in any event. My expectation would be that many other people, beyond those who are actually being processed in a given month, will stay put and wait to avail themselves of this additional way of accessing legal pathways. So we'll see. We have to build it out, and we're very actively working on doing that. You know, as to why this hasn't been done before, well, I mean, it's like any good idea. You can say, gee, why didn't we think of this before? But the fact is, we're working on it now, and we're working to make it real and effective.
You have set a goal, I think you said, of doubling the number of refugees to be admitted. Is that realistic given the huge backlog, the enormous demand, and how long it does take to scale up to the 6,000 a month or whatever it is? So I'm wondering how many more people will really be helped in these new measures. Secretary Mayorkas, you said something I didn't quite get about family detention. Will entire families now be detained? Is that the idea? And finally, for Secretary Blinken, you mentioned the global aspect of immigration. And so I wanted to ask about Russians who've been coming to the United States seeking asylum, saying they're fleeing conscription. Many of them are minorities. And it seems like their cases are being turned down. Many have been detained by ICE, and a few that we know of have been deported back to Russia. So why is that why do they not have a credible fear case? Thank you.
So let me, I can take the questions if I may. So the issue of credible fear, the determination of credible fear is a very case-specific, individualized determination. Our very experienced asylum officers make those determinations based on the facts presented to them, as well as their background information with respect to the country conditions. And so they evaluate the claims based on the people before them and the case that those individuals present. We are indeed in discussions with other countries to expand the regional processing centers. They will have a significant impact on the migratory decisions of individuals in the region, and our parole processes really communicate that fact quite powerfully. People don't want to place their lives and their life savings in the hands of ruthless smugglers. If they have a lawful, safe, and orderly pathway to come to the United States or another destination country like Canada or Spain, as Secretary Blinken mentioned, they will avail themselves of those lawful pathways. That has proven true through our parole processes and other lawful pathways that we have implemented to date. That is especially true when, if they do take that perilous journey and happen to survive, because all too many do not, they will find that the border is not open and they are subject to removal. And removal will occur in the expedited removal context swiftly, in a matter of days or just a few weeks. The regional processing centers will indeed make a big difference because we are surging asylum officers to work with the international organizations, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, the International Organization for Migration, to screen people very quickly. We are going to be delivering efficiencies in the refugee screening process to move that process more rapidly than before. This is going to have a material impact in a number of ways. One, we will provide relief for a greater number of people, and two, an even greater number of people will wait to avail themselves of this pathway because of its magnitude and the consequence of not doing so. We have no plan to detain families. As I mentioned, we will be employing alternatives to detention, including some innovations in that regard. And we will, on a case-by-case basis, use enhanced alternatives to detention as warranted.
Camilla?
Thank you. My understanding is that the U.S. intends to continue deporting Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans to Mexico if they cross to the southern border unlawfully. So do you know how many migrants or deportees Mexico has agreed to accept, if any? I don't think Mexico has spoken about it publicly.
To date, Mexico has agreed to accept up to 30,000 expulsions under Title 42 per month. That is a decision that they have made. We intend, in a post-Title 42 environment, when we are using expedited removal, our Title 8 of the United States Code authorities, we intend to return individuals to Mexico from those nationalities.
Final question, Leon?
Yeah, just a technical question on these regional centers, if I may. If I understood you correctly, you said they would be operated by international partners. Are you outsourcing the immigration process?
I'm happy to start with that. No, the point here is to do the following. It's to take advantage of the fact that international partners have physical locations in a number of countries where they're doing very, very important work, and to be able to bring some of our own officers and experts into these centers so that people can come to them and explore whether they're eligible for one of the various legal pathways to come to this country, whether it's as a refugee, whether it's for family reunification, whether it's for a labor pathway. And that means that it's a lot easier for people who are contemplating coming to determine from their own countries whether they have a legal pathway to do that. So it's making legal pathways much more accessible. And as Secretary Mayorkas was saying, as this gets up and running, and as people see that there is now a more accessible way to determine whether they're eligible to come to the United States through a variety of pathways, we believe that that will take significant incentive away for people to instead make this incredibly hazardous journey to the United States, put themselves in the hands of smugglers, encounter all the terrible dangers that we know they encounter along the way in an effort to pursue asylum, and in any event, not get in. So that's the idea, but no, it is reliant on our own people to share the information and to do some pre-screening of individuals who come to these centers. Anything you want to?